Pokémon Inspection Agency, complete Orange Island region dossier. Gym Compliance Report 025, Mikan Gym. Examining Agent, H. Hayfield. Gym details, region, Orange Islands. Location, Mikan Island. Leader, Sissy. Badge, Coral Eye Badge. Leader Character Assessment, Key Standards Checklist. Inspection Compliance, Pass. Pokémon Welfare Concern, Pass. Suitable Maturity, Pass. Overall Positive Temperament, Pass. Additional positives. Examiner could not find anything of note to mention here. Additional negatives. Leader allows their younger brother to perform pranks on potential gym challengers. While harmless, it does come across as unprofessional. Leader enforces an unofficial rule, though they believe it to be official, that challengers may only use water-type Pokémon in their gym. Gym Building Assessment. Building. Building is up to Pokémon League codes and is fit for purpose. Battlefield. Battlefield is fit for purpose, however, due to being an open pool with no platforms, cannot accommodate all Pokémon. This issue is mitigated somewhat by the nature of the gym's challenge, all but requiring the challenger to use a Pokémon that can navigate in the water. The beach and ocean area nearby the gym is also used by the leader in some scenarios. This is not recommended and should be stopped as soon as possible, as it is an unpoliced, uncontrolled environment and susceptible to, for example, sudden changes in weather or interference from dangerous wild Pokémon. Available gym Pokémon: Seadra, Blastoise. Notes. The gym's roster allows it to acceptably perform its own challenge, however it is so small that it will not allow for any variations within that challenge. Pokémon Challenge Assessments. Pokémon Challenge Description. The Mikan Gym Challenge has two components. The first is a water gun accuracy target shooting test. Should the leader and the challenger tie, they move to a second portion of the challenge, a surf race in the sea just off the coast of Mikan Island. Pokémon Challenge Evaluation. Examiner has never before seen such a limiting structure for any form of Pokémon-based challenge, gym or otherwise. Leader's incorrect enforcement of a water Pokémon only rule aside, a challenge that requires a challenger to have a Pokémon with a very specific move, followed by a different challenge requiring a different but still very specific move, is frankly madness. How any challenger has ever managed to earn the Coral Eye Badge from the Mikan Gym is miraculous. The limiting nature of the challenges aside, the challenges themselves are incredibly dull and incredibly dangerous respectively. Hitting targets with attacks, be it stationary or in motion, should be something most trained Pokémon can do, and most trained Pokémon do in fact do in the course of a standard battle. And a race in open water without any form of safety equipment, where the competing Pokémon are allowed to perform attacks, is irresponsible on the leader's part at best, and malicious at worst. Gym Challenge Recommended Alterations. Examiner recommends changing the entire Mikan Gym challenge at a foundational level. Focusing more on the race aspect of the gym would be the way forward, with proper safety considerations and allowing any Pokemon that can be ridden, which the challenger and leader can switch between as the race covers different terrain, not just open water. This is still narrow and limiting, but it at least offers more accessibility than the current challenge. Pokemon Challenge Assessments continue. Pokemon Challenge Simulations. Challenge 1, simulating a beginner challenger or a challenger with 0 Orange Island badges. Examiner's Pokemon: Bulbasaur. Leader's Pokemon: Seadra. Challenge Breakdown. Examiner did not have a water Pokemon or a Pokemon knowing the move Water Gun, so was unable to compete in the initial challenge. No contest. Conclusional notes. Gym is not equipped to accommodate a beginner challenger. As stated previously, the league cannot expect a trainer, especially a beginner trainer, to own a Pokemon with a specific move. Challenge 2, simulating an intermediate gym challenger or a challenger with 1 to 2 Orange Island badges. Examiner's Pokemon: Wartortle, Pidgeotto. Leader's Pokemon: Seadra, Blastoise. Challenge Breakdown. Wartortle tied with Seadra with minimal effort. Examiner did not have a Pokemon knowing the move Surf, so was unable to compete in the secondary challenge. No contest. Conclusional note. Gym is poorly equipped to accommodate an intermediate challenger. While it is more reasonable for an intermediate challenger to have Pokemon with specific moves, it is still a lot to ask, as some may not need the moves in question due to team makeup and strategy. Challenge 3, simulating an experienced gym challenger, a trainer challenging for their last badge, or a challenger with 8+ badges from another region. Examiner's Pokemon: Poliwrath, Glossopod. Leader's Pokemon: Seadra, Blastoise. Challenge Breakdown. Poliwrath tied with Seadra with minimal effort. Glossopod defeated Blastoise with minimal effort. Examiner 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is poorly equipped to accommodate an experienced challenger. Examiner's Poliwrath had to perform one of its water attacks to mimic a water gun to compete in the first challenge, and Examiner had to transfer in a Pokemon they had not intended to use to compete in the second. The fact that these lengths were needed by someone as well travelled as the Examiner show that the Mikan Gym's challenge setup needs to change. Leader Challenge Assessment. From the examiner's albeit limited exposure, the Mikan Gym leader is able and can successfully pressure trainers by completing the gym's challenges with smooth efficiency. However, this is not saying all that much, as the first challenge is something any trainer should be able to do, and the second does not rigorously push a trainer's limits. Final summary. What is the point of the Mikan Gym? It feels more like a light fairground attraction than an official Pokemon League gym, and does not successfully push a challenger's skills in any broad or useful way. There is not enough cause for dismissal of the leader, and the building is in fine shape, but everything else about the gym needs to change. The proposed altered challenge is, as mentioned, not perfect, but will at least test fitness, judgment, Pokemon speed, and Pokemon switching. In its current state, the Mikan Gym tests nothing. Final grade. E. Gym Compliance Report 026, Navel Gym. Examining Agent, H. Hayfield. Gym Details, Region, Orange Islands. Location, Navel Island. Leader, Danny. Badge, C. Ruby Badge. Leader Character Assessment, Key Standards Checklist. Inspection Compliance, Pass, Pokemon Welfare Concern. Fail, Suitable Maturity. Fail, Overall Positive Temperament. Pass. Additional positives. Leader is in good physical shape and partakes in various outdoor activities. Additional negatives. Leader seems completely oblivious to the terrifying danger of their gym's challenge and has not raised any concerns or inquiries to the league regarding its nature, something any sane adult would do. Instead, they fully enforce the rules of their challenge. Gym Building Assessment. Building. There is not so much a building to the Navel Gym as there is a large freestanding gate. There are no league guidelines for large freestanding gates. Battlefield. Due to the nature of its challenge, the Navel Gym does not have a battlefield. Available gym Pokemon: Geodude, Machoke, Scyther, Electrode, Nidoqueen. Notes. The gym's roster allows it to acceptably perform its own challenge, and even though that challenge is incredibly niche, they are well trained enough to adapt to any pivot in that challenge. Pokemon Challenge Assessments. Pokemon Challenge Description. The Navel Gym Challenge has 4 components. The first is the free solo climb of a sheer mountainside, with the use and assistance of Pokemon prohibited. The second stage, using Pokemon now, is a race to freeze a geyser of boiling water. The third is a race to carve the previously frozen geyser into a bobsleigh, and the fourth is a race back down the mountain, riding the previously carved ice bobsleigh. Pokemon Challenge Evaluation. 10-year-old children are allowed to challenge the Navel Gym. That should be enough context to highlight just how indescribably horrifying its challenge is. Free solo climbing is such a dangerous sport that even experienced climbers rarely attempt it, and asking challengers to do so could be something classified as attempted murder in a court of law. And this is not addressing the perplexing decision to prohibit the use of Pokémon at a Pokémon gym. The rest of the challenge components are safer, but not by much. Geysers can cause fatal injuries if not treated with the utmost care, and there is a reason why professional bobsleigh competitions involve the teams taking turns, not racing at the same time, because a crash would also be fatal. Even if the challenge was not so dangerous, it would still be a farce. Examiner is willing to bet there is not a single Pokemon trainer out in the world who, in the course of their travels, has ever had to carve a bobsleigh from a frozen geyser. Why is the challenge this? Gym Challenge Recommended Alterations. There is not a single aspect of the Navel Gym Challenge that can be focused on or refined into a better one. So much of it needs to change that any proposed alterations here would be essentially starting from scratch, and alterations of that magnitude fall outside the examiner's field of expertise. Pokemon Challenge Assessments continued. Pokemon Challenge Simulation Preface. Examiner considers themselves professional and dedicated to their job, but they can only refuse to put themselves in such obvious danger for the sake of a gym report by undertaking simulation challenges at the Navel Gym, so none were so. Examiner requests that the league does not send a different examiner who might be more willing to put themselves in harm's way. Final summary. Barring gyms run by crime lords or unstable psychic mutants, the Navel Gym is the worst the examiner has ever visited. It is a nightmare of thoroughly meaningless but terrifyingly real danger. It must be shut immediately and the leader removed from their post. Examiner also requests that the person at the league who conceived the idea for the gym's challenge also be removed from their post, before they can create something similar at a different gym. Steps for changes and moving forward seem trivial at this stage, and should only really be proposed after the league can guarantee no one will find themselves challenging the Navel Gym in its current state. Final grade, F. Gym Compliance Report 027, Trovita Gym. Examining agent, H. Hayfield. Gym details, region, Orange Islands. Location, Trovita Island. Leader, Rudy. Badge, Spike Shell Badge. Leader character assessment. Key standards checklist. Inspection compliance. Pass. Pokémon welfare concern. Pass. Suitable maturity. Borderline. Overall positive temperament. Fail. Additional positives. Leader keeps their Pokémon in good physical shape through dance exercise. Additional negatives. Leader directs very forward sexual advances towards certain people. This is not appropriate when, to a lesser extent, those people could be potential challengers, and when, to a larger extent, those people are not comfortable with such advances. Gym building assessment. Building. Building is up to Pokemon League codes and is fit for purpose. Battlefield. Battlefield is a slab of unreinforced, unsurveyed rock jutting high out of the ocean, with the water below prone to severe whirlpools and dangerous undercurrents. There would be dire consequences should a Pokemon or challenger fall. The battlefield itself can accommodate Pokemon of all sizes and is quite scenic, so Examiner recommends closing it, then reopening it after some form of industrial reinforcement and the installation of safety nets. Trovita River is also used by the leader for a portion of the gym's challenge. This is not recommended and should be stopped as soon as possible, as it is an unpoliced, uncontrolled environment and susceptible to, for example, sudden changes in weather or interference from dangerous wild Pokemon. Available gym Pokemon: Venomoth, Ninetales, Electabuzz, Pidgeot, Hitmonchan, Starmie, Exeggutor, Rhydon, Golem, Alakazam. Notes: the gym's roster is outwardly large. However, due to the nature of the gym's challenge, it is severely lacking. At least one Pokemon is required of each type, and the roster only covers 12 of them. This issue may not seem immediate, as the roster does match Pokemon native to the Kanto and Orange Island regions well. However, there are a number of Pokemon from regions beyond that it does not. For example, any pure Ice, Ghost, Dark, Steel, Dragon or Fairy types, and any Pokemon with combinations of those types. Pokemon Challenge Assessments. Pokemon Challenge Description. The Trovita Gym Challenge has two components. The first is an accuracy test wherein the challenger, from a moving boat, must hit targets with Pokemon attacks. The second stage is a best of 3 battle wherein the leader uses Pokemon of the same type as the challengers. Pokemon Challenge Evaluation. What is with the Orange Island gyms and target shooting? As stated in a previous report, there is no challenge in getting a Pokemon to hit a target with an attack. The second stage of the challenge, however, is, while not all that different from a mainland gym, rather ingenious. Forcing a challenger to face a Pokemon of the same type as their own tests adaptability and problem solving, coverage and movesets, knowledge and logic, all on top of the things a standard battle tests. It is also not a scenario that many trainers will find themselves in, so offers somewhat of a unique battle experience. The only issue is the gym's roster not allowing it to fully or effectively explore this concept. This, however, can be easily amended. Gym Challenge Recommended Alterations. The first point of attention is the target shooting test stage. Get rid of it. It is unnecessary, easy, and does not gel with the actually decent second stage. There are no alterations needed to the second stage of the gym's challenge, but the gym's roster does need attention. It needs to be expanded, and the below additions would be the bare minimum to successfully accommodate all levels of challenger while matching their Pokemon types, and giving some backup should a challenger use more than one of the same type in the same battle. Pokemon Challenge Assessments continued. Pokemon Challenge Simulation Preface. Due to the utterly pointless nature of the first stage of the gym's challenge, Examiner did not undertake simulations of it. As its removal should be a priority following this report, assessing it here would have been a waste of time for everyone involved. Pokemon Challenge Simulations. Challenge 1 simulating a beginner gym challenger or a challenger with 0 Orange Island badges. Format: best of 3. Examiner's Pokemon: Bulbasaur, Rattata, Coughing. Leader's Pokemon: Exeggutor, Pidgeot, Venomoth. Challenge breakdown: Exeggutor defeated Bulbasaur with minimal effort. Pidgeot defeated Rattata with minimal effort. Leader 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is not equipped to accommodate a beginner challenger. The gym has no Pokemon viable in this scenario. Challenge 2. Simulating an intermediate gym challenger or a challenger with 1 to 2 Orange Island badges. Format: best of 3. Examiner's Pokemon: Wartortle, Machoke, Dragonair. Leader's Pokemon: Starmie, Hitmonchan, Rhydon. Challenge breakdown: Wartortle defeated Starmie with significant effort. Hitmonchan defeated Machoke with even effort. Rhydon defeated Dragonair with even effort. Leader 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is poorly equipped to accommodate an intermediate challenger. A few of the gym's Pokemon do have viability in this scenario, however their use is dependent on the challenger's choice of Pokemon. As the gym does not have a Dragon-type Pokemon, the leader was unable to match the challenger's Pokemon of that type, essentially rendering the idea of the challenge non-existent. Battle 3, simulating an experienced gym challenger, a trainer challenging for their last badge, or a challenger with 8+ badges from another region. Format: best of 3. Examiner's Pokemon: Poliwrath, Jolteon, Charizard. Leaders Pokemon, Hitmonchan, Electabuzz, Ninetales. Challenge Breakdown. Poliwrath defeated Hitmonchan with even effort. Jolteon defeated Electabuzz with even effort. Examiner 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is evenly equipped to accommodate an experienced challenger. The gym is almost perfectly equipped to accommodate an experienced challenger, specifically from the Kanto and Orange Island regions. However, experienced trainers are more likely to travel, and the gym is less able to accommodate an experienced challenger from another region, due to the type matching setup and the roster being unable to back it up in that case. Leader Challenge Assessment. Leader is a serviceable battler. Their dance training offers their Pokemon a unique range of movement for both offense and defense, and gives them a strong stamina and endurance. Apart from that, however, their strategies are basic and their mentality is standard, which does not help to set them apart from an average trainer. Final summary. There is a solid foundation to work with at the Trovita Gym, but at the moment there is not much worthwhile built upon it. The option of replacing the leader should be seriously explored pending the results of a re-education program. The battlefield needs to be surveyed by a professional engineer before it can be used further, and the roster cannot cope with what the gym would like to offer. It is a shame. Final grade, D-. Gym Compliance Report 028, Kumquat Gym. Examining Agent, H. Hayfield. Gym Details, Region, Orange Islands. Location, Kumquat Island. Leader, Luana. Badge, Jade Star Badge. Leader Character Assessment, Key Standards Checklist. Inspection Compliance, Pass. Pokémon Welfare Concern, Pass. Suitable Maturity, Borderline. Overall Positive Temperament, Pass. Additional positives. Leader is a successful hotelier, showing a strong intelligence and business acumen. Additional negatives. Leader has been adversely affected by their son departing for his Pokemon journey. While this may not seem a serious issue on the surface, it is influencing their actions and even causing them visual and auditory hallucinations. Leader's role as a hotelier could cause them to be overworked and forces them to divide their time, attention and priorities away from the gym. Gym Building Assessment. Building. Building's up to Pokemon League codes and is fit for purpose. Building doubles as an upmarket hotel with a broad spectrum of luxury facilities, bringing in a significant amount of bonus capital and giving challenging trainers a comfortable base to stay at while preparing for their battle. Battlefield. Battlefield is fit for purpose and can accommodate Pokemon of all sizes. Available gym Pokemon: Marowak, Alakazam. Notes. A roster of only 2 Pokemon is not ideal and will be unable to provide suitable challenge to lower experienced trainers and suitable variation to more experienced trainers. Pokemon Challenge Assessment. Pokemon Challenge Description. The Kumquat Gym Challenge has one component, a single 2v2 double battle. Pokemon Challenge Evaluation. While double battles may be novel in the Orange Islands, they are not anywhere else. They are even becoming more prominent in the Kanto region, being heavily featured in Pokemon contests. Should a hypothetical trainer from Hoenn arrive to challenge the Kumquat Gym, they would see nothing unique about it. Its presentation here comes across as out of touch. The challenge is also heavily limited by the roster being too small. It cannot provide any form of variation within the challenge or accommodate an inexperienced trainer. Gym Challenge Recommended Alterations. The Gym Challenge does not need to be altered so much as it needs expanding. Examiner recommends a similar setup to the Setopolis Gym, wherein the battle format can change mid-battle, after, for example, the leader loses a certain amount of Pokemon. However, where the Setopolis Gym went from a double battle to a single battle, the Kumquat Gym could vary the formats to include single, triple, rotation, horde battles, as well as battle royales. In order for the gym to offer these formats and provide appropriate challenges to all levels of trainer, the roster needs to be expanded. However, as it does not have a theme or type speciality, any additions proposed here would be arbitrary. Examiner is happy to allow the leader to choose the Pokemon added, provided they are thoroughly briefed on the gym's needs. Pokemon Challenge Assessments continued. Pokemon Challenge Simulations. Challenge 1, simulating a beginner challenger or a challenger with 0 Orange Island badges. Format, 2v2 double. Examiner's Pokemon, Rattata, Squirtle. Leader's Pokemon, Marowak, Alakazam. Challenge Breakdown. Marowak and Alakazam defeated Rattata and Squirtle with minimal effort. Leader 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is not equipped to accommodate a beginner challenger. None of the gym's Pokemon are viable in this scenario. Challenge 2. Simulating an intermediate gym challenger or a challenger with 1 to 2 Orange Island badges. Format, 2v2 double. Examiner's Pokemon, Ivysaur, Butterfree. Leader's Pokemon, Marowak, Alakazam. Challenge Breakdown. Marowak and Alakazam defeated Ivysaur and Butterfree with even effort. Leader 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is poorly equipped to accommodate an intermediate challenger. All the gym's Pokemon are, while slightly more viable here than the previous simulation, not wholly viable in this scenario. Battle 3, simulating an experienced gym challenger, a trainer challenging for their last badge, or a challenger with 8+ badges from another region. Format, 2v2 double. Examiner's Pokemon, Dragonite, Charizard. Leader's Pokemon, Marowak, Alakazam. Challenge Breakdown. Dragonite and Charizard defeated Marowak and Alakazam with even effort. Examiner 1. Conclusional notes. Gym is evenly equipped to accommodate an experienced challenger. It is debatable if a single round double battle is enough of an extended challenge for an experienced trainer. Leader challenge assessment. It is probably safe to say that the leader is the best double battler in the Orange Island region. Their strategies are well balanced and they can smoothly transition between offense and defense or execute both at the same time. Examiner also believes that they are more than capable of quickly expanding their skill set to include the aforementioned other formats that should be added to the gym's challenge. Final summary. The Kumquat Gym is the best gym in the Orange Islands, though that is not saying much at all. Significant work is needed, its roster is far too small, its challenge isn't really one, and the leader is troubled and spread thin. All of these issues, however, can be solved without needing to greatly overhaul any particular aspect of the gym. Just build upon and support what is already there. Final grade, D+. Regional Gym Summary, Orange Islands. Examining Agent, H. Hayfield. Collated Gym Gradings, 0 A grades, 0 B grades, 0 C grades, 2 D grades, 1 E grade, 1 F grade. Overall region outline. The gym challenge setup of the Orange Island gyms allows the league the opportunity to test other aspects of being a Pokémon trainer rather than simply battling, and that opportunity has been almost totally wasted. The current challenges are either bafflingly niche, mundane to the point of comedy, bone-chillingly dangerous, or a combination thereof. Only one portion of one challenge is passable at the moment, and even then, the gym is not equipped to deliver on it fully. The Orange Islands cannot afford to be an afterthought any longer. A young person from the region will be less likely to want to become a Pokémon trainer when their local gym has a certain chance of either boring them to death or killing them to death. Also, as a side note, Examiner would like to ask, what are the gym badges made from? They are unlike any aquatic Pokémon shells they have ever come across. Overall region grade, E.